bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger?
Ark Creepypasta Evolved, Chapter 4. For the next 30 minutes, I used Barry the Iguanodon to gather as many narcoberries as possible so that I could make as many narcotics as possible. I also took Lucky the Raptor out on a killing spree, gathering as much meat and hide as I could. While I was at it, I crafted a refining forge and a smithy, and gathered some metal in order to upgrade from stone tools to metal tools. I managed to make a new pick, hatchet, and crossbow. I was a little short on metal for the pike, but I'll worry about that later. I crafted about 200 trank arrows and 100 narcotic, and I set off with my raptor to find a decent level Pteranodon. At first, things were peaceful. Then I saw something that made me freeze. There was a raptor with red dust all over it, which only meant one thing. Alpha Raptor. I took out my awesome spyglass just to see what level it was, and what I saw was even more surprising. Not only was the creature a level 300, which isn't logically possible without mods since 150 is the maximum level, but the name said that it wasn't an alpha, but an apex? Apexes don't exist though, do they? Unless it's Primal Fear or Dino Overhaul X, that is. I also noticed that the creature had about 100,000 health, and I knew that my raptor, who only had 1,500 health, wouldn't stand a chance. It spotted us and gave chase, and let me tell you that this thing was fast, even for a raptor. I don't think even alpha raptors could run that fast. It almost instantly caught up with me, and not only did it run fast, but it also attacked fast. Faster than any other creature on the Ark. I knew that both Lucky and I were goners, and even though I kept running, I gave up, and Lucky eventually ran out of stamina. The only thing that saved us at this point was the apex raptor getting distracted by a nearby Phiomia, which gave us enough time to escape. When we were far enough away from the creature, I looked at Lucky's health, and out of his 1,500 health, do you know how much health he had left? 1. That's right, only 1 health. Lucky was just 1 hit away from being killed, and I decided that my raptor was definitely worthy of the name Lucky. After feeding Lucky to try and nurse him back to full health, we continued our search for the Pteranodon. It took forever, but we finally managed to find a level 100 Pteranodon. I threw a bola at the creature to prevent it from flying away, and then pampered it with trank arrows. After it finally went down, I fed it some meat and waited for it to tame up. While I waited, I noticed another flying creature in the distance. At first, I thought maybe it could have been a higher level Pteranodon, but when I got a good look at it with my spyglass, I noticed it was a Tapejara, another pterosaur that resides on the island. Unlike Pteranodons that ignore other creatures unless provoked, Tapejaras usually flee on sight of you. Not this one, though. It spread out its wings like a normal Tapejara would when it was about to flee, but instead of fleeing or flying, it just walked towards me and stared. It looked like it was waiting for me to give it food. I went to get some meat out of the Pteranodon to give to the Tapejara, but the creature just followed me the entire time, and when I got to the unconscious Pteranodon, something weird happened. The Tapejara began to attack the down flyer. I tried to stop it, but it was hell-bent on killing the Pteranodon. It managed to kill it, and I got angry. But I calmed down when I realized that the Tapejara calmed down after it killed the Pteranodon. It then turned its attention back towards me and started nuzzling me. I fed it more and more meat until it tamed. I may not have tamed a Pteranodon like I wanted to, but I managed to tame something I thought was even better. You see, there are some things a Tapejara can do that a Pteranodon couldn't. For one, a Pteranodon can only fly forward, but a Tapejara can fly forward, backward, and sideways. Tapajaras can also latch on steep surfaces and regain stamina that way, while the Pteranodon has to land on solid ground to regain stamina. Plus, in my opinion, Tapajaras are much better looking, and this one, for a flyer, is actually pretty strong. It can actually hold its own against raptors and carnos. Little did I know, though, that this Tapajara, which I named Ryan, would carry me out for most of my journey.